Well, as evidenced by the posts in this thread, we have realized how very divisive the nature of charity can be, especially considering that everyone has their own subjective idea as to where charitable money needs to go. The point is that we're not entrusting ourselves to it. We're giving the money to people who we support their efforts. The people who we're giving the money to are the ones who are charged with giving it to something that is worthwhile cause. That's the way that we can get away from trying to do the charity on our own. That's the group idea. Putting the money towards something that actually has an effect is going to be the subjective assessment of the charity. The other posts that caught my attention were the one talking about how very easy it is to organize a blood drive and that you need a location. This is completely false. You don't need a location to do a blood drive. One only needs to call the Bloodmobile, and smart people like you could figure out that you can Google and find your local Bloodmobile service. Doesn't matter who's collecting the blood, it only matters who's giving it and who's taking the credit for giving the blood. So you don't need a location. You don't need a big room at the Philadelphia Ethical Society in order to organize a blood drive. You can just simply say that the Bloodmobile is going to be at a certain place, and that if you want to show up as a group en masse and have it videotaped that, you know, here is this group of humanists or atheists or non-theists, as some people prefer to use the term, going into the blood drive and giving blood, going into the Bloodmobile, donating blood, coming back out, saying how much they feel, how good they feel about doing it. I'm glad that everybody seems to think they can help in more ways than we can realize, because so far the driving force behind what's been happening at the Rational Response Squad is driven by, you know, the squad and its affiliates. As far as anybody affiliating with them, they seem to only want to do that for their own ends. So I'm not seeing that happening. Secular Web sucks. It has a few informative articles, but nobody goes there other than atheists or humanists. You're not attracting any attention to the cause by posting it on just the secular web. Yep, organizing your own blood drives, maybe at a Walmart or some highly visible location, preferably some location that promotes free thought, such as a bookstore. You know, call the Bloodmobile, ask them if they would like to be at the bookstore, and organize the people that you know that are atheists, non-theists, or whatever, to show up at that location so that the Bloodmobile knows that there will be enough people there. And you have to do it as far in advance as this, which, you know, we're right now, it seems we're still throwing out ideas. So there's that. $150 to rent a building to schedule the blood drive seems a little crazy, irrational to me, especially given the fact that we can just simply call the Bloodmobile, have them show up someplace. And then later on in another post, we hear a plea that there are so many groups that need money. Did you get back from a board meeting? Board meeting? Do activists have board meetings? I don't understand that. I suppose a board meeting would be something akin to, you know, the RRS private chat room. I mean, I suppose we could consider that a board meeting. But then asking for money, there are so many groups that need money. Yeah, no shit. No shit, there are groups that need money. Thank you for being obvious. You know, not only are the fact that, you know, who started the site atheistvolunteers.org? Who's organizing it? Who's putting up the links? Who's doing it? The Rational Response Squad and the people affiliated with the Rational Response Squad. Hey, I think we just found something there. Great. I'm happy that the Secular Coalition is now 501c4 advocacy organization. Amplify the diverse and growing voice of the non-theistic community. Nope. Sorry. You know, you can't plea in one place that you're trying to unify people who are secular, whether they are religious or not, and then in another one say that it's non-theistic. So right there you're contradicting yourself. So that's very bad. You know, if you would stick to your guns on one thing, then I would probably have a great deal more respect for the efforts. The problem with this is that the Secular Coalition for America, while is doing something good as far as keeping religion out of government, is not doing anything to further the number of atheists in the community, the number of non-theistic people in the community. So we have that as an issue. If you want money to support these efforts, then you're going to need to figure out what the diverse and growing voice of the non-theistic community is, and I don't see a lot of people doing that. No one seems to be trying to figure out that there is no one unifying cause behind atheism other than the cause for itself. The ideology for the sacrifice of the ideology alone. Charity's great, but the money that's being spent should be spent more on activism and seeing that the people who are doing the activism are well taken care of, and that if they're supported by the people on the site, then, you know, who's to say that your subjective assessment of what needs to be done should outweigh anyone else's. We're having two fundraisers. $10,000 for a winter holiday display. A tree of knowledge 30 feet tall to compete with the 50-foot tall menorah and larger than Nativity creche on federal grounds on Independence Mall, right there in Philadelphia near the National Constitution. Oh my heavens, nothing. Are you insane? You're raising $10,000 to put up a fucking tree? What? $10,000 would fund fucking activism for months, would give children in Argentina the surgeries they want, that was an actual charity that we're supporting because it's driven by an atheist. $10,000 would take care of some of the legal fees of some of these people who are actually in the courtroom, rather than lobbying a bunch of senators. $10,000 could buy a vote on the Supreme Court, probably. $10,000 to build a tree? Give me a fucking break. I'm not even going to finish this. Look, I printed the two posts out, and I'm not even going to finish them. That right there stops it. Oh, 2 points. No way. What? You sit there and you say you're spending $150 to rent a building, and then you're asking for $10,000 to build a fucking idolatrous fucking tree on the mall, and now in the first line of the previous post, please, there's so many groups that need money. You know what? The Rational Response Squad needs the money to actually do the activism, to actually do the work that's not being done by its lobbyists, by the non-theistic lobbyists in Washington. So that's my opinion. And Dr. Fear is welcome here to voice his opinion. I would prefer that he not be stomped on, because he is also of the mindset that if you make more atheists, then there's more atheist money to spread around and to make a difference in the rest of the world on other things.